So no, you can't see. That was your cue, in case you missed it.
Oh, I missed the cue. Hey, and welcome to the Man Crib Show, the most exciting bit of internet blogging, podcasting you will find anywhere, right, Dave?
For sure. Yes. You summed it up in one sentence of what this is going to be.
All right. Thank you for joining us. You can catch us online at www.themancribshow.wordpress.com. That's all we have time for tonight.
Hey, don't forget the hashtag. Say it, Joe. I can never remember. I'm going to write it down right now. TMCS Live.
That's to be used on Twitter, folks.
It
and
is.
Since Dave just wrote it down, why don't you give it to him one more time, Dave?
It is hashtag TMCS Live. Give us your questions, your comments. We'll check them out. I did see my buddy Aaron finally made a Twitter today, so we may be getting trolled. Who doesn't love a troll?
Good.
We need all the trolling we can get tonight.
I love it. All right, what do we got on store for him tonight, Dave?
We got some good stuff about my focus. What kids say randomly. And I know you got a story. Do you want to lead in on your story of what kids say randomly? I know my kid says all kinds of things randomly, but the things that are a little iffy. You got any?
Since you have multiple stories, I'll let you go ahead and go first, and then I'll just jump in with one story that I have, and who knows, maybe I have something that I said stupid when I was a kid. We'll see.
Oh, we all have that. My story revolves around one of the greatest places for stories ever, and that's Walmart. Plug Walmart. I was on my way to Walmart on a beautiful Sunday. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was trying to shop without my wife. I had my son with me, trying to look in the electronics department for more than a few minutes. When coming down the hill, I see the Walmart, and I have an anxiety attack. Now, all of this, none of this leads into what my kid says until later, so part of the story. So anybody with anxiety knows that either you get bound up or you got to take a dump like nobody's business when you have an attack. I am one that has to take a dump. So we pull into the Walmart, and sure enough, my son says, "Dad, I have to pee," which I said, "Perfect. I got to poop. Let's go to the back," because the front, for some reason, the front entrance, the Walmart bathroom is always blocked like they're cleaning it. I think they just leave the sign up. But so we run to the back so I can drop this bomb on him because my stomach is in knots. And I get back there. I put him on my feet first, let him go pee. Yes, I put him on my feet so he's tall enough. That's weird. And we're sitting there, and he's peeing. By the time he gets done peeing, I turn him around, and I go in the tiny stall for once because I didn't want the extra room for him to like run amok in the shitter. So I wanted him within an arm's reach. There's no good way to take an extra person into a stall at a bathroom, in a public bathroom. So I sit down, and as soon as I do, I hear another Walmart employee comes in, sits in the handicap John, starts lighting up a big old dump. All fine and dandy. 2 dumpers, never bothered me. So as soon as I sit down, and we're in there about 2 minutes, I'm fighting the kid not to touch the floor, lick the walls, whatever it is kids want to do when they're not supposed to. And the dude turns off his radio just in time for my son to say, "Dad, I see your wiener," which is a bad. I don't know why I ever told him that's what it was called. I don't know how what you name that thing to a 3-year-old that wants to know what it is. I called it a wiener. He said, "Dad, I see your wiener." He said it maybe a good 5 times. He was pointing, bending down. "Dad, I see your wiener. You got hair on your wiener, Dad." Yeah, this is awkward. With the man taking a dump right next to me. And all I could say was, "Yes, Son, I do. What, you can't tell him to be quiet. He's just talking. But
Well, the first thing I just want to point out, you called it the Walmart twice, and
You might
that
be
means you are a true person of Walmart because you call it the Walmart.
yes,
I am not a person of the Walmart, so that's all right. Second of all, it's just normal man etiquette. If someone is in the stall, you like leave an open stall. So did you make the mistake of going in the middle stall, or were there only two?
there were two. There was the handicap John, which I usually like for a little more room and privacy, and then there was the smaller John, which keeps the kids within arm's range from licking the floor.
So there was no other choice for the employee of the Walmart other than to just sit down next to you.
There was no other choice. And like I said, he had just turned the radio down. On top of that, I'm really lighting into this anxiety dump and right on a quiet poop, right in the quietness of it. Dad, I see your wiener. And maybe it's my fault for calling it a wiener. I don't know what you call it, but I should have probably went pee-pee, something a little lighter than wiener. But
That's not the worst. But let's flip this story around and let's imagine that you are the Walmart employee sitting in the other stall. What do you think in your brain when someone's kid says, "Dad, I seen your wiener"?
I am trying my best not to snicker my ass off, more than likely. I got a smile. I'm holding my turd. You know he's in there trying not to let out a big fart because someone's in the next one anyway. So he's got a quiet snicker going, try not to laugh at the fact that a 3-year-old is squatted down pointing, saying, "Dad, I see your wiener."
So you got zero response. You didn't hear a chuckle. You didn't hear keys jiggle. You didn't hear any movement or anything.
No, there wasn't time. He said wiener about 4 consecutive times in a row. And I kept saying, "Yep, yep, yep. That's what it is. Yep, yep." And then by that time, I did a speed wipe. I didn't care if I got it all or what. I was just bolting out of there faster than I needed to. I'll double check it when I get home. But yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
So you're the person that when the awkward moment happens in the public restroom, you're the one, you get in, you get out. You don't want to wait out the other person because that's the other option, is to wait it out and sit there even if your legs fall asleep, and let the other person go.
Well, if it was a normal sit down, yes, but this thing was a quality 5-minute anxiety attack dump. It was a big stinky mess. I didn't really want to sit in there and try to hold my kid under the armpits off the floor for another 10 minutes and hope he didn't say anything else ridiculous in the time that it took to get done.
Oh, I love when you take kids to the public restrooms, because that's my one story as well, was in a public restroom.
And we didn't talk about that, but
no.
And just for a moment, if you have a story, go ahead and put it on Twitter, put it on our Facebook page, anything, we'll check it out, try to get it on here. Any questions, comments?
And if you're on Twitter, make sure to use the hashtag TMCS live. Yeah, I typed it wrong. If you are joining us on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, just leave a comment at the Man Crib Show, and we'll be able to get to that as well.
And I learned last time that if you're on Google Plus, you can hit the Q&A button, and it will allow you to send questions there. I just didn't know I could check them. So my apologies to the people leaving questions on there.
Man, you're learning as we go.
I am.
Well, I won't get as detailed as Dave did on his story. However, kind of a similar scenario. You know, you go to a public restroom and you have a young child with you. You know, I was also doing what Dave was doing in the bathroom. And it never fails. The kids never say anything when there's no one else in there. They wait for the person to walk in, jingle the keys or belt or whatever, they hear them. And my son's phrase was, "Whoa, Dad, that's a lot of poop in there." So, so I'm not sure which one is worse, the wiener or the making it seem like you just filled the whole entire toilet. But nonetheless,
Was this your poop or somebody he just happened to walk in and see a ginormous pile of poop pre-dump?
no, like I said, this was a similar story to yours, keeping him in the stall, keeping him from running around. And yeah, of course, doing the nose hold and the whole 9 yards. And yeah, I'm not even sure he even seen anything, but just the blurred out of that's a lot of poop in there. With people walking in and standing there trying to use the bathroom. So that's
a great story.
I know, and that leads to make sure you do the courtesy flush.
Now I know people that kids can't use the public restroom because they're scared of the automatic flush. And how tricky of a move is that to try to sit a kid on a ginormous, an adult shitter, and have them not fall in, touch anything?
I had to tell you, they're touching something, and you're more likely to get some sort of illness for taking your kid to the doctor to get a flu shot than you are unless of course they're like licking the ground or whatever. But just sitting on the toilet, not that big of a deal. But yeah, here's what I've found. The automatic flush sucks. I don't even like it when I'm there. I mean, I can't even stretch or move or shadow or anything like that. Any direct movement, which means as soon as you plop the kid up there and move, it's flushing before you have a chance to go. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, the kid's trying to jump off the toilet.
Right. I either have that or when I'm trying to go, it won't flush. And
so
I had to do like the Superman bend over with my fat belly in the way.
You're trying to like wave behind you, trying to get it to go.
And I never thought of like wrapping a piece of toilet paper or something behind it. That might be a good idea.
And this is kind of a little off topic because we're trying to talk about the darndest things kids say, but
we got in the
poop. We saw you transferred over to using the restroom. I can't count on both of my hands the number of times I've gone into a public restroom with the wobbly seat that's about ready to fall off. I mean, come on.
The rodeo ride? Yeah. I get the rodeo ride all the time, and you always get the butt cheek pinch or the scare the crap out of you because it flops off to the side. Yeah, every time.
So are we jumping back into kids say the darndest thing, or are we going to stick with the toilet? Because I can keep going on that for the next 3 days probably.
I don't care. If you got another great toilet story, I will not mind at all.
No, I don't have stories. I was just going to ask questions like why they put the freezer paper up there behind the stall.
Yeah, what is up with that? It never stays on. All you do is poop on it. You might as well just throw it in the toilet with the rest of it.
The only thing that stays on is you after you sit there for 5 minutes and then you try to stand up and you get a little freezer paper butt going.
Yeah, I don't know the point of that. They need something that would slide on to cover the seat and stay on, not some damn tracing paper stuck to your ass.
Here's a good idea. If you go into the bathroom and you pee on the seat, like wipe it off. There you go. You don't need anything to cover the seat if people like clean up after themselves.
You'd be freaking surprised how nasty people are just going into them bathrooms. Like, I hate to see half of their homes. You know, it's just like piss everywhere, pubes stuck to the back. When I say pubes, I don't know if pubes is appropriate, but there's pubes.
If we have any women that were listening to the show and they've decided to log off, if you have any restroom experiences, make sure to leave us a comment on Twitter using the hashtag TMCSLive. Maybe it's not the same for women, but I'm the type of person in the restroom though. I wait it out. I wait. I don't want to have that awkward face-to-face moment at the sink washing my hands the same time someone else does.
And yeah, I agree. Now the urinal, that's a different story. You always leave the courtesy one open if possible, but at like a ball game or something, you got to get in there tight. It's just what you got to do.
And remember, who doesn't wash their hands on the way out, and don't slap them a high five.
Oh, that is gross. Which is a lot of people. Just throwing that out there. I've seen a lot of non-hand washers in my day, and it's pretty disgusting.
Well, if they have to put a sign up that says employees must wash their hands before returning to work, that a lot of employees didn't wash their hands before returning to work.
Yeah, I'll take that foot-long sub sandwich. That is gross.
Eat fresh.
Salami? Of course.
All right, you got another kids say the darndest thing experience? Or?
Yes, I'll throw one in. Anybody that knows our mom, we discussed her in the last show, my parents, a non-swearing family, and my kid got on the kick of saying "damn it" over and over and over, and he'd go to her house, and I was trying to keep him from saying it, and he ended up going, "Damn it." And she goes, "No, we say dag nabbit." One of the words they would make up to replace the actual damn it word. And he goes, "No, I say damn it." She said, "No, dag." This went on for 10 minutes till she got frustrated. We ended up going home. But that's another little story I had. And I'm sure I could come up with 100 more, but something about taking the poop stories just sound a little more interesting right now.
It never fails that you have to go to the restroom, or the kids, mainly my two kids, have to go to the restroom at the most inopportune times. You can go before you leave the house and only be gone for 10 minutes, and it never fails. Somebody's going to have to go to the bathroom.
Have you ever done the pull over on the side of the road trick? Because I've had to do that numerous times.
On long vacation drives, I believe we've tried it. And that's the plus of having boys. Pull over to the side of the road. Or if you're out in the sticks, out in the pasture, and you got a 30-minute walk back to the house, you might as well just go for it.
Out in the sticks. You talk about me and the Walmart.
Well, did you do your pull over on the side of the road for you or for your child?
The child. I've done it numerous times. I think one of the times was on the way home from your house, I believe. It's about an hour drive. Somewhere. We're always on a long drive. He has to go. And it's usually not in the best neighborhoods, so I'll wait it out a little bit. And then it's all rural area, so I'll just pull off on the side of the highway and let him go. I don't have a girl. That could be awkward for them, but for a boy, it's pretty simple.
Sounds good. Yeah, my most embarrassing things that kids say is probably not what they say, just more what they do. I'm not a fan of being embarrassed in public, whether it's walking through the grocery store or Target or the Walmart, or wherever you're going. And just the general yelling, kicking each other. I have two boys. And I want this. I said, I want this. And that to me is more embarrassing than, hey, that's a lot of poop in there.
I haven't had that yet. My kid's not old enough, and I don't have two of them. So I imagine that escalates things a little bit on the trip to the store. But yeah, I haven't dealt with that. I always get the embarrassing crap stories.
And my favorite is, I'm the parent that when my kids start doing that, I yank them by the arm, I leave the cart wherever it is, and I go and I come back. But I love the parents that sit there and just like pretend like their kid's not being a little jackass. He's kicking and screaming in the aisle, throwing stuff down, jumping up and down, and just everybody's turning and looking, and they're just like, oh, it's no big deal. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah, smiling. Oh, isn't it cute? No, he's really not. Everybody else wants to grab a hold of that boy and whoop him. Just saying.
Hey, sometimes your kids need a little swat on the ass. That's the truth to the story.
We're not condoning a beating.
I,
Everybody has
I
the
didn't
right
say
to.
I didn't say a beating. I said a swat.
There is a difference. I agree. Everybody has their own style of parenting. Some work for some people, some don't. Teach their own.
Once again, if you have a story of your child saying the darndest thing, or your mom saying the darndest thing, oh man, it seems like our mom has said a couple of things, and I don't even realize that she's saying it. Didn't she say something about? Maybe you remember the story. Something about somebody being, maybe they were pregnant or something, and she said something about being fat or something.
Yeah, our mom.
Yeah.
I believe she did. I don't remember the exact stories, but yes, that's a no-no. We got a couple on the Q&A here. It says we had a guy put a magnet over the sensor at work so it wouldn't splash him. It's a pretty good idea if you carry a magnet. And that's back to the shitter.
That works.
Apparently it works.
So do you put it, and if you're still watching the show, maybe you can help us out here, but do you put that on the very top of the pipe that's coming down, or do you like literally put it over the little viewing window there?
I would imagine he's sticking it to the metal on the piping over the viewing sensor. And I got another one from the same gentleman, which I know this is another, it's a toilet story if you don't mind.
Go for it.
We were in the mall, and I guess this employee, this has nothing to do with our kids, but it's a good story. We walk in, and this guy is really just scrubbing the piss out of his hands. Just scrubbing. So I said, man, what you got going on? Got something on there? I'm washing the cock off my hands, he said. No, I didn't say anything vulgar. That's exactly what I said. I said, you're washing the cock off your hands. He said, yeah. Well, apparently he was a painter and had been caulking something in the building, but he had an accent, and he said caulk. He was washing the caulk off his hands, but the look on our face, our chin dropped. Like, what have you been doing in this bathroom? You got to wash the caulk off your hands. But yeah, for sure.
Very nice. I love it. So that's the story of someone at work or someone at the mall.
That was somebody at the mall. They were doing some maintenance at the mall. And he replied to yours. It said the viewing window on the pipe. So the sensor on the pipe. He said he called it the poop magnet.
Well, I'm going to head down to my refrigerator after today's show and grab myself a magnet, put it in my car, and you never know. I wonder if that trick would work to keep more paper towels coming out of the paper towel dispenser.
Wouldn't that be great? I'm always the last one to give it and then nothing. Or they got the little turn knob on the side, and you turn and reach, fiddle your fucking fingers up there, and you can't feel a bit of paper. It's all jammed up.
When we got way off topic here, but that's great because we're talking about restrooms. But I absolutely hate, I hate any automatic anything. I don't want the automatic shake your hands underneath the sink and try to get the water to go. And then, oh, now I got to shake my hand underneath the soap dispenser and hope it hits right. Then you got to go back down, rub your hands, and you're trying to get the water to come on, and it either comes on and stays on and splashes all over, or you're shaking things. You're trying to get it to come all over. And then the automatic stupid, well, there's paper towel dispensers, and you just shake your hands under that stupid thing too. And they give you about this much of a paper towel, and it either gets jammed or whatever. And some of them have that stupid light on there, and you can't double shake in front of it. You can't do the double wave and get more paper towels in one roll. You got to rip off the 3 inches of paper towels and then shake after the light goes off. Just a waste of time on the stupid automatic.
Yes, it is. And all points are great. They'd give you about 3 fingers width. Then you wait 5 minutes. And from what I just seen you do with some kind of magician's helper, here it is, ta-da! Wand in front of the sensor, and you get up just wanting to punch it by the time it's done.
That's without a doubt. That is for sure. And they even have, and I don't know if you've seen these or not, but they have the all-in-one, the hand wash, the hand squirt, the hand dry, the everything, all in one. You just stick your hand inside this little tube, which you can't even see your hands at this point. You stick them in there, you shake them around a little bit. You hope the water comes on. The water runs for 2 or 3 seconds. It turns off, and all of a sudden you get a shot of something on your hands. You rub them together a little bit. More water comes back on. The water goes off. You keep your hands inside this little bowl, the sink thing, and the air comes on and it dries your hands inside, all in the same thing. Now, I mean, pretty ingenious idea, but come on, man. I need to be able to see my hands when I'm washing them.
I had one of them in a truck stop, and I thought I was sticking my hands in a glory hole. I didn't know what was going on at first. You stick your hands in, some lotiony stuff shoots out. Yeah. I've also seen the hand dryers, the older ones, where somebody has scratched in with like a knife. Step 5, like step 1, put hands under dryer. Step 2, rub vigorously. Step 3, shake, and they scratch in. Step 4, rub the shit out of them on your jeans because they never get dry, which is the truth. And then they got the new turbo ones now that are like blow your rings off your fingers.
Yeah, the ones where you stick your hands all the way down in, both hands at the same time, and you just slowly pull them up. Those things, have you seen those?
I haven't. I'm talking about the power, the one that have the powers to like make your stick
yeah.
They got an airplane motor on them.
No, they have ones now with like this blue light in them, and you stick your hands and your fingers have to be facing down, and you slowly but surely pull your hands up. And it's like you're fully encased, and the water that drips off of your hands like actually drips down into this part of the machine. So you need to get out more in public and use the bathroom and wash your hands.
I don't want to put my hands in anything in the public restroom. Why do you need to put like to the wrist in anything in the bathroom?
I have no clue. Why does Chick-fil-A need mouthwash in the restroom?
I've never seen it. I've never been to a Chick-fil-A. I am not a traveler, obviously.
Well, first of all, take your child to Chick-fil-A. They have a play place, which that's a dying breed these days. And 2, they have mouthwash in the restroom. I haven't really figured that out yet, and I'm a little nervous to actually try it. I'm afraid it might be hand soap, but it says mouthwash on it.
That's gross. We got another comment. This is good. It says, back to the kid story. It says, there was a heavy set woman in Schnucks the other day wearing a shirt that was purposely showing her stomach. And my kid said, Dad, look at her belly. Tickle, tickle. That's a good one.
Oh, that's great. And I mean, I'm not trying to say anything because I'm not the most fit human being either, but I'm not a fan of spandex. Oh, wow. Keep the Q&A coming if you're on Google Plus, or make sure to get on Twitter, use the hashtag TMCS Live. Because the more you guys add to the show, the better it is, because we started this show with nothing in front of us, if you couldn't tell that.
Yes. I got to mowing the grass and came down. I got a couple quality notes here. We're rolling. We are rolling.
I've never had my kids say anything, towards another person. Probably the other embarrassing, besides using the bathroom, is probably just picking their nose and eating it or something like that. Would probably be the next thing.
I can't imagine them saying that. That would be embarrassing for me, having them say something about someone else. That would be embarrassing.
Tickle. That's going to be my next Twitter feed post. Tickle, tickle.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I'm taking a deep breath after that tickle, tickle at Schnucks. And normally you don't. That's more of the Walmart type of thing you would hear there.
Did I really say the Walmart?
Well, you'll rewind the tape and you'll hear it when it's available live on iTunes later in the week.
Good. Way to drop that in there. That was amazing. Good work.
Hey, I do what I can.
And I am typing, so pay no attention to me.
Oh, pay no attention to the man behind the mask.
That's right. It's the screen. Excuse me.
Yeah, we both mowed grass today. I mowed my grass this morning and should have did a little Flonase. Throw that out there. Flonase works wonders.
We have no sponsors on this show, but if you'd like to give us money to talk about nothing, we'll take it.
I would love to.
What else you got on that paper over there? Anything?
No, I was just trying to look since we switched over to bathroom talk. I was just trying to switch over and just go with it since that's what you had gone with. You have anything else on the? I do have a parenting tip, and then this may sound stupid, but it works wonders. And maybe your son hasn't done this yet, but I know my kids, especially the younger one, likes to take the toilet paper roll and just roll off all the toilet paper off of it. You ever had that situation?
Not yet.
Let me ask you how you put your toilet paper roll on. You got the toilet paper coming over or you do the back behind?
It usually comes over, but ours is the kind that swings, so it sits up against the wall, so it prevents the constant flow of toilet paper. That makes sense.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. See, I normally have ours coming the normal way, which is, I hate to tell you folks this, it's the hanging over the top, which spin, it comes off.
You're going to start a debate here like nobody's business.
That's fine. You can join us on Google Plus. Use the Q&A button or use the hashtag for the show on Twitter as well. And you can let us know which way you think the toilet paper should go. But I'm going to tell you that if you have young kids, put the toilet paper on backwards. And that way, when they start trying to roll it off of there, it just rolls back up on itself and it doesn't really come off, if that makes any sense.
It does make perfect sense. We prepped a long time for this show. We had 2 weeks and we used it to our fullest. That I'm going to say. But that's okay.
I mean, hey, what can we say?
I will edit all this out for iTunes. So if you just want to hear the condensed version of what we're talking about, iTunes.
Please hang up now. No. I mean, we're on bathroom talk now. We might as well just stick with it and roll with it and go with bathrooms. And I'm going to go with probably one of the cleanest public restrooms I've ever been into is Quick Trip.
They do have a nice shitter. Target usually pretty good. They have the checklist
for the most part.
Yes.
The restroom with the loosest toilet seats that are not tightened down. Lowe's, imagine that one.
But
they have
they're fairly clean.
They're clean, yes, they're clean, but they should get a bolt from down the aisle 13 and tighten that thing back up.
A $6 part to keep you from falling over, but they're cheap.
49-cent bolt. All right, and I did a little research here while we were babbling.
I love research.
And I know. What can I say? Public restrooms are considered to be probably one of the dirtiest things out there. However, I'm going to give you 5 things that are dirtier than a public restroom. Now, I don't know if these are dirtier than the clean, or excuse me, dirtier than the dirtiest public restrooms, but they're definitely dirty. And now, here we go. Your toothbrush. Imagine that. I don't know if any of you keep your toothbrush out on the actual counter in your restroom, but if you do, bacteria gets on it. And even toothbrushes have been found with bits of feces on them as well from sitting in the restroom. So make sure that you try not to keep your toothbrush out on the counter. You keep yours out on the counter?
No, it's in a drawer. I've seen it on Mythbusters where they show how much poop's on there, so I kind of keep it away.
There you go.
I keep my wife's on the counter though.
Your TV remote control is dirtier than a public restroom.
They say the dirtiest thing in a hotel room is the remote control, which I can imagine, but that's just gross. Do you ever wash your remote? When's the last time you gave your remote a good scrub down?
Never.
Me neither. Gross.
I take that back. I may have whenever my youngest son threw up all over my Lazy Boy, I'm pretty sure I wiped it down then.
Smart
That's
move.
been probably 6-8 months ago.
A side note on that, I have 2 of them that are like 30 years old that I let my kid play with when he was young because he loved the remotes. Looking back, doesn't sound like the best idea. I hope my wife washed them down.
A kitchen sponge. If you use a kitchen sponge, it's dirtier than a public restroom.
Will this include a bottle brush that has a sponge on the end?
I don't make the information. I just read it.
Okay, sorry.
And you just said you were typing earlier. Your keyboard and your mouse on your computer.
How is that pop? These are all things you touch with your hands.
Your hands are dirty.
I get that. That's gross.
And probably the number one most dirty thing, dirtier than a public restroom. A study in 2012, so this is like 3 years old now, found that 10 times more disease-causing bacteria were found on a cell phone than on a public toilet seat.
That's gross. I wipe mine down about every 2 weeks, but with some Clorox wipes. But what's the first thing? We're talking about taking a crap. What's the first thing you do when you go in there now? Whip it out, a little Angry Birds, a little Facebook, something to ease the time.
I don't have Angry Birds. I know. It seems like bathroom trips before cell phones used to be like 2 minutes.
Mine were still 30 minutes, but that was on the clock at work. But yes. I was talking, well, now that you mentioned that, I'm going to go off on a side note just to ask you a question.
Just go for it.
F it. We've gone too far. The cell phone. I was talking to someone at work the other day, and we were discussing turning off our cell phone power for a month in September. Do you think it's physically possible to do that this day and age?
Do I think it's for some people to turn off their cell phone for a month? Yes, I do. I also know that in today's day and age, a lot of folks rely on that cell phone for their job. They get work emails, they get updates and things like that. So certain people, no, I don't think they would be able to. A lot of people, yeah, not that big of a deal.
Could you?
Could I? Probably not.
I think I could. I might give it a try.
Well, you let me know how it goes.
September, don't text me. Won't answer.
You let me know how it goes. I have too many things to do So that's just me.
Sorry, just a little side note. I didn't know if you thought it would be plausible for you to do.
All right, just some more tidbits since we're staying on the restrooms here. And I don't know if we want to call these the doo-doos.
You're going right to the doo-doos?
I don't know. Did we get our doo-doo jingle this week?
I don't have the chord I need to play. We got it, but I just don't have any way of playing it right now.
Okay, we'll get the doo-doo jingle figured out. But now this is all from studies here. If you are going to the restroom and there are multiple stalls, use the first stall. According to studies show that the first stall tends to be the cleanest and the middle stall tends to have the most bacteria. Bet you didn't know that one.
I didn't know that. I've noticed that it doesn't matter which stall you use for the most part. If you were in a clean bathroom, they're all pretty well clean. If you're in a nappy ass bathroom, they're all just disgusting. It looks like somebody just ran in and just knocked the damn doors off the hinges. The toilet paper hanging out. I don't even know how they get this way, but for some reason they're like destroyed. Like people are in there battling in a WrestleMania 11 or something in the public shitter. I don't know how they get torn up so bad.
All right, here's another doo-doo, and we'll throw this out there to the one female viewer that we have. I don't know.
Viewers?
No, I was just saying maybe we have millions. I don't know. One of the dirtiest places ever, and this is even outside the restroom, is the bottom of a woman's purse or diaper bag, because they go into these places and they set them down. So a little doo-doo when you're going to the bathroom, hang your purse or your diaper bag or whatever off the little hook that's up there, and that'll reduce some germs.
That's a good tip. I would have never thought about that.
Hey, I'm here.
Your research is astounding.
I'm here for the public. What can I say? And, oh, by the way, this is something that should be done anyway. This is my own thing. If there is no automatic flush, lift the foot up there and flush it. Do the toe tap on the little flusher and flush it. Have you done the toe tap?
I do the toe lift if I got to pee, like to lift the seat up because I'm that nice a guy. And then the toe flush. I don't sit down in the stall and do the toe tap. That's got a few senators in trouble. But everywhere it's legal to do a toe tap, I'll toe tap it.
By the way, studies show that you're more likely to get germs on your hands entering and exiting the stall than you are to get from the toilet seat.
I was at a place in Springfield, and they actually had a little hook on the bottom of the door. Have you seen these? They're like toe grabs. It comes out like 4 inches where you can put your toe in there and you sling the door open. It was pretty genius. You didn't have to touch it. That's what I don't understand. They've made automatic everything, but they cannot figure out how to put an automatic door in the bathroom.
With an automatic lock that locks.
Yeah. So
not one that you twist and there's still an 8-inch gap in between where people that come in can kind of look through the crack and see you sitting in there.
Have you ever had a kid pop up underneath the stall?
No, but this just no, not pop underneath the stall. However, I think I scarred some junior high kid for life. Nobody that I knew. I had no clue who this kid was, but at a public restroom a while back, and obviously going to the restroom. So I'm in the stall. Well, there was only one stall where I was, and I knew at the rate of speed that the door was hit open coming into the restroom.
You're using physics now.
Yeah.
Starting to scare me.
The force of this kid's 2 hands to bust open the main door into the restroom And then the speed at which he got from the main door to my stall door, I knew this was going to be an issue. So he literally runs after he pushes open the door. He runs. He must have known this restroom well because he didn't look for extra stalls. He knew there was only one stall. He ran straight for the door, gave the stall door a 2-hand jab open. And this kid, like I said, I don't know. He may have been 13 or 14. I don't know. I don't know if he was expecting me to be a little nervous or to be scared or like jump or whatever. But like I said, I'd prepared myself from the squeaky shoes on the semi-moist floor of the restroom. So when he did the 2-hand shove to enter the stall that I was already using, he got one of these. Hey, how's it going?
The old double chin.
The old
chin.
double cheek rest there. And then just to be mean, I made sure I took an extra time to get out of there
as he was pacing back and forth.
Yes, he was pacing.
Now, did the thought never come to mind to do the double leg up door trenching so he couldn't get in?
The door was on the side.
Oh.
The door was on the side. It was a side angle. And at the rate of speed this kid was going, I might have dislocated the hip the way he shoved that thing open if I had legs straight out.
So he's the one that's knocking the door plumb off the hinges.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I've never had that violent of a turd.
All I know is, I mean, would you at least say, sorry, man, or oops, or something? He kind of stood there dumbfounded for a second. And I go, hey, what's going on? And he turns back around, didn't say anything, didn't try to close the door or anything, just kind of turned around. So
was there eye contact made?
Oh, he glazed deep into my eyes.
It just got weird.
It only would have gotten weird if he said your son's phrase from the first 5 minutes of the show.
That would have gotten real weird. That I've actually had a kid pop up underneath of it. Like the door was locked. He did the Spanky and the rest of the rascals jiggle on the fucking door handle, and then got down on all fours, discussing who this is, and crawled under it. It was a handicap stall, and he stared at me, and I just said, "What's up, bud?" And bloop, 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 bloop. I didn't hear a parent in sight, but he was crawling around on the bathroom floor like he owned it.
Awesome. Don't forget, you can use the Q&A section if you're on Google Plus. On Twitter, you can use the hashtag TMCSLive. Kind of got a little off topic of kids say the darndest things and kind of switched into bathroom mode. So if you have any do's or don'ts or things you like or don't like about public restrooms or embarrassing things that your kids have said in public, or even if you've said something, or maybe your parents even have said something embarrassing, make sure to throw those through the Q&A section or use the hashtag TMCSLive on Twitter.
I got an email on Facebook, which is different, but it says you need to talk about the weird places that dads have to change their kids' diapers because men's restroom never have a changing table. Do you find this to be true?
Nowadays, no. Now I don't know where this guy's hanging out, but nowadays I think that's pretty common deal. And a lot of public places now are even doing the family bathroom. So that just means
in there.
I really don't. The only time I did go into the family bathroom is when I took a kid younger than 1 year old, like a baby, basically took him to a Cardinal game. And I'm like, I'm not taking this dude into the men's bathroom to try to change a diaper. So we found that there was actually a family restroom at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And that's probably been my only experience with them.
I feel like a creeper. I feel like, okay, it's kind of made for women too. I probably shouldn't be. I don't know. I just don't feel right going in the family restroom. I have changed my son on the sink because there wasn't a changing table before. I have had that incident, or in the back seat of a car. I've done that a few times too.
There you go. That's the joy of driving a van or a hatchback. You can get that hatchback lifted up, throw them in there, and
Move
just
your
go
subs from when you were 18.
Yeah, I've moved the subwoofer over to the side, and
Do they
Yeah,
make a
but-
hatchback still? Do you own a hatchback?
yes, I do own a hatchback, and my license plate number is Z7. No, I'm just kidding. But no, they make them all sorts of hatchbacks. You can get them, and every minivan that I know of has the little back that comes up. But I'll tell you what they've created now that they didn't have when I bought my van is the shake your foot underneath there and have it automatically open for you.
That's a nice feature when your hands are
is.
full. 'Cause
Anyway,
everybody-
to get back to the email question on Facebook, yes, nowadays more times than not there is a changing table. I did notice a couple in the handicap stall. I think it was one of those. Probably the state came in and said, "Hey, you need to have a baby changing table in all restrooms," and they didn't have any room on the walls for all the 5 hand dryers, so they just put them inside the handicap stall. So make sure you look in there if you're looking for a baby changing table.
That's a good tip. I have found them in there too, and it's nice because you can shut the door and hope there's no petties walking around taking a glance. But for the most part, they're hard to find. Why are you laughing? It's the word petty.
It's disgusting for one.
Yes, but it's crazy
That's
world we
that's
live in.
another show.
Yes, it is. But yeah, they're hard to find. If somebody's in there taking a dump, you're pretty well on your own.
Yeah, just if you're walking around a store like the Walmart or
You're an ass.
Target or Kohl's or whatever, and they do their duty, just lay them down in the aisle and change them.
Have you learned that or noticed that since you become a parent that your cares about that kind of thing? Like if I'd have seen a person doing that before I was a parent, I'd be like, what the hell? Now I'm like, oh yeah, girl, change that diaper right there. That's what you do.
Oh yeah, girl. Go get a package of diapers because you didn't bring any with you. Get a package of diapers, open it up, pull one out. Oh, you didn't bring wipes either. Get a box of wipes off the shelf, open that baby up, change that diaper right there, and then go up to the register and pay for your open stuff that you already used.
That sounds like personal experience.
I've seen it happen.
Oh,
But why not?
that's
Why
like the
not?
people
What's the
that order
difference?
chicken out of the deli and then walk around and eat it, but then they just stash the box later. I've seen that, but that's neither here nor there. But that's a genius idea. I've never thought of that. Of paying
All
for it
sorts of.
afterwards.
Hey, I told you we have all sorts of tips and tricks for everybody. So, but just pay attention because it doesn't work as good like in Schnucks or Deerbergs in the freezer aisle. If you're gonna do that, at least make sure you're at a store in the baby section. You know, don't just keep rolling down the aisles and go, "Oh, this looks like a good place right here in front of the milk." You know, just find something else. So.
That's a good point. I'm just imagining kids laying on the floor in the freezer aisle getting their pants changed. Your throat sounds terrible.
I know, man. It's from mowing the grass.
Did you get all the galls up?
The first time I did, and now they're back again, back at it.
No way to eliminate galls for the rest of your life, huh?
Hey, what can I say?
Kill the bees.
Did we get another comment about that's all I know was me. Something about a purse diving for a lost treasure. You got that up there somewhere?
You got it. It sounds like it says, "Thank you for finding this. My wife always wants me to find something in her purse, and it's like diving for lost treasure. I hate it. Now I have a reason not even to try it." I believe he's talking about the dirtiest, the bottom of it being disgustingly dirty.
Yes. Yes, it is. So if you're digging for a treasure in there, and Lord only knows what you're going to find in that purse, you might find a toothbrush, which we've already talked about the toothbrushes, and then some sort of snack for the kids, toys. It seems like it's a bottomless pit sometimes.
But they have everything we don't pack. When I'm
Because
gone,
we don't pack anything.
that's right. I'm like,
down.
shit, diapers? Damn, I knew I forgot something. A drink? How do people keep these children alive?
My philosophy is this: I'll buy it when I get there.
I like that philosophy. I'm going to use it.
No
Starting
man
now.
bag, no man bag. Just buy it when we get there. Change your kid in the diaper aisle at Target. It's okay.
So you're not a man bag taker.
No, I'm not a man bag. Well, I have about 31 bags. And
Does one of them have your name on it?
no, it does
Go.
not. But those are a lot easier to take along than the actual diaper bag with all the little pouches, and the bottle has to go here and the diapers have to go. Nah, just pile it all in and go for it.
Agreed. I carry a National Rifle Association camouflage lunchbox that I stuff everything in, so I look manly when I go out. Doesn't work, but I try.
Hey, that sounds great. Here's what we need you guys to do. If you have, first of all, anything that would enhance this show,
Shouldn't be hard. Throw it out there.
we would love to maybe add that to the iTunes feed, or follow our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and we'd be able to throw those ideas up there as well. So if you have something that your kids have said that's kind of embarrassing, or if you have that public restroom moment, story, idea, anything, just make sure you're using the hashtag TMCS Live on Twitter, or shoot Dave those weird, awkward Facebook message things on Facebook at the Man Crib Show. Of course, we do have an email address. I don't know if we throw that out there at all, or if we should, but we have one if they want to email us random articles or random things that they'd like for us to cover on the show.
So you're just going to leave them hanging? You aren't going to throw it out there?
I was throwing it to you to give them what the email address is.
It is the Man Crib at the Man Crib Show at gmail.com. Are you doing a little promotion in your drink? Have you officially made American Idol status over there?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Is your name on the back of it? That's their new thing.
No. And this is a whole other story. And join us next time on the Man Crib Show when we talk about things that are okay to take from restaurants.
Doo-doo-doo. And the cops show up at Joe's door.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
What the hell is this? Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh.
You obviously don't watch American Idol.
Oh, that's what that was supposed to be. I do. I've seen it, but I've never heard a caveman say ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh on there.
I'll take my shirt off and bang my chest next time, and maybe you'll understand what we're doing.
I wish you would. The ratings will skyrocket.
All right. I think this concludes the third edition of the Man Crib Show.
It does.
Once again, do what?
I was busted. I didn't mean to talk while I was.
Oh, I thought you said you had another question.
No, I do not.
If you have a show idea, make sure you shoot us an email, themancribshow@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can do the Q&A on Google+. Use the hashtag TMCS Live on Twitter. Make sure you like it on Facebook, even if you don't like it in real life, because everybody likes things on Facebook they don't really like.
Including friends. And email us and show ideas. Don't stop us on the side of the road because we're so famous and yell them at us, because I don't remember that. I don't know about you, but I got people saying, you should talk about that. And then when I get here, it's gone. So write it down. My ADD doesn't make me allow me to think for more than a couple minutes.
Well, the next time you see Dave in a public restroom, just crawl underneath the stall, say hey, and give him a show idea, and we'll get right on that as soon as possible.
Yes, and make sure you say, I seen your wiener. And that's a lot of poop.
This concludes our broadcast day. I'll kick it to Dave for the final word before we get out of here. But I'm outie. I'm going to go make sure my toilet seat is tightened.
And I'm outie, but I don't know if I'm cool enough to throw the peace sign like Joe just did. So, he's dropping the Coca-Cola bomb on us again. We'll see you next time on the Man Crib Show.
Whoa, whoa.